the impact listings for Stronghold SHX. We have some Axelar we're going to include in regard to the findings, some key research from myself and the brother Rue back again.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I have many friends that are earning every single day trading futures on BTCC. It's a simple process, and even if you don't want to learn how to trade, you could follow a trader on the site and let him do the trading for you. And again, I'm not trying to have any of you guys use your hard-earned money to lose anything. You don't know what you're doing? Don't jump into this, but there is money to be made, and don't use your nest egg for leverage trading. Use a separate portfolio. But I suggest learn how to trade. Earn you some extra money on BTCC. It's easy. You don't have to KYC, and you don't have to use a virtual private network VPN. This is a wonderful site. They've been around since 2011. Give them a shot. Also, when you earn that extra money, you can store that on your DCENT wallet. The DCENT wallet was not affected by the XRPL debacle, where the backdoor of many wallets was open and there was a breach. So DCENT wallet was not affected by that. DCENT wallet is as safe as you keep your seed phrase. It's a wonderful product, and you can get the discount by using the link. It's the only way to get the affiliate discount, and that is to use an affiliate link. So that link is popping up on the upper right side of your screen, and it is the one that you will use. You will also get free shipping. Pick you up a DCENT wallet today. Secure your assets. If you don't have them stored in a wallet and sitting on an exchange, then you're at risk. So pick you one up today. Thank you. So consider smashing that like if you haven't done so. We're going to jump right into it. Rue, what do you have for us today?
We're just going to break right into Tammy Camp, telling us about what bridges and interoperability can do for Stronghold. So let me share the screen here. And we got Tammy Camp looking fabulous, and I'm going to play it right now.
Hi everyone, Tammy Camp here, CEO of Stronghold. Today I'm sharing a strategic milestone that reflects our commitment to growth, innovation, and long-term value creation. This is about positioning SHX for the future. Buckle up. We're taking interoperability to the next level. Let's talk bridges. In crypto, bridges move assets between blockchain networks. Think of Ethereum as one island, Solana as another, and Stellar as another. Bridges are the infrastructure connecting them. You deposit your asset on one chain, it gets locked in a smart contract, and bridged versions get minted on the destination chain. SHX has always been chain agnostic. We've transferred value off-chain for years, giving us flexibility. Now we're strategically moving more on-chain, opening up massive possibilities. We can explore chains that fit our business needs and tap into ecosystems where our community already lives. Why Axelar? Strategic alignment. They partner with Ripple and Stellar. Ripple's EVM sidechain actually connects with Axelar's infrastructure. That's institutional grade interoperability. Axelar uses delegated proof of stake consensus with 75 active validators. Their Q4 roadmap adds Solana, Sui, Aptos, and more. We're positioning ourselves for tomorrow's chain, not just today's. What does this mean for SHX? Circulating supply accuracy. The crypto industry really struggles with this. The networks don't always know what's truly circulating versus what's lost. Bitcoin has mined almost 20 million coins, but an estimated 4 million are permanently lost. Real supply, closer to 16 million. Bridging helps us track movement accurately. We'll understand where tokens are and how they're used. Transparency and accountability in action. We're opening access to multiple DeFi protocols, liquidity pools, and developer communities. Each chain has unique strengths, speed, cost, and specific features. Now we can leverage more. In the past, bridges have been hacked. For example, an individual lost over $625 million. The question is, why trust this? Early bridges were centralized and vulnerable. Axelar learned from those failures. They used the same proof of stake security protecting the blockchain they connect, not some hastily built multi-sig with a handful of keys. Bridges require caution and research, but staying siloed in a single ecosystem limits growth and opportunity. We're building a framework for continuous connectivity. As Axelar expands, we'll select compatible projects to grow with strategically. SHX has always evolved with the market. We've moved value off-chain when it made sense. Now the infrastructure exists to support on-chain operations properly. We're choosing partners like Axelar for security, decentralization, and long-term vision. This interoperability brings us infrastructure, market access, and genuine opportunity. Thank you for your continued trust and engagement. We're executing our vision. I look forward to sharing more progress with you soon. Together, we're building something that lasts. Stay tuned, keep engaging with our community, and let's bridge forward.
Okay, so Tammy Camp perfectly summed up in 3 minutes and 45 seconds everything that I kind of wanted to relate to you guys here. So for one, you can see, and let's just get the next thing queued up here. You can see that it's a multi-chain future. She just mentioned at least 4 or 5 different chains, right? XLR, Stellar, XRP, Solana, and Ethereum, right? So it's clear that it's going to be a multi-chain future, right? And one of the things that she mentioned was that Stronghold has been blockchain agnostic. They've done this upgrade where they're better upgraded for Ethereum and what's going on there and the liquidity there. But they've always been blockchain agnostic. But one of the things interesting for people who are investors in ZEBEC, like myself and Max, is that she mentioned Solana, right? She mentioned Solana as one of the other chains there, and she actually showed a triangle between Ethereum, Solana, and Stellar there, right? So very, very interesting there. But now what happened is that Stronghold got listed on Kraken. And one of the things that happened there is, if we take a quick look here, it did not affect their price at all. In fact, they went up a little bit since being listed on Kraken. And I think we're going to see more of that with Stronghold as it gets listed on other things. Shout out to Mine Crypto. He's shown you where they've already shown on their blockchain ledger that Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, and others have gotten some allocations of coins from Strongholds, both on Ethereum and other places. So it's possible that this conversion or this upgrade to Ethereum had already kind of been done, and these guys went and got tokens early. But here you're going to see here, if we go to market cap of A, that Stronghold here, if it were just to get to 1.5 billion market cap, and again, we know market cap has some multiplier. It's not directly the amount that's in there right now, but just if it gets to 1.56 billion, that puts it already at 29 cents, right? It's lower than 100 million market cap right now. It's 72 million market cap. Now, if we do Caspa, and we do its all-time high, which is almost 5 billion, that would put Stronghold almost at like 93 cents to $1, right? And knowing what Stronghold wants to do, definitely check out our past video here that we have. Stronghold Bridge, major news is coming, 10x incoming, okay? Definitely check that out, because Tammy Camp shows us kind of the long-term vision of what's going on with Stronghold. Definitely check that out. But here we can see that it's not going to take much to get this thing to $1. Not much at all, especially considering all the players that they work with. Nacha with ACH payments and things like that. They have all the SOC 2. They have the ISO 222. They have all of those different compliances. They have those already under their belt. So it's very, very, it's not going to take too much to move this. But let's listen to what Tammy Camp has to say about the Kraken listing, and then we'll hand it over to Max.
Tammy Camp, CEO of Stronghold, and I'm thrilled to share news we've all been waiting for. Stronghold is now listed on Kraken. Since 2017, we've been making blockchain technology work for everyday businesses. From Forbes FinTech 50 to Inc. 5000 recognition, every milestone has strengthened our foundation. This Kraken listing reflects the dedication our team has poured into making our infrastructure rock solid and scalable. For SHX holders, this translates into better liquidity and broader access, especially for retail US and, of course, global institutions. We're connecting with new market participants who bring fresh energy into our ecosystem. From the architects behind Stronghold Net to every team member driving our mission forward, and most importantly, our incredible community, you've been a part of the foundation of everything we've achieved. Your engagement and insights have been invaluable. For those of you discovering us through Kraken, welcome. Follow us on X at Stronghold Pay or visit stronghold.co. Here's to the next chapter of providing fast, secure, and accessible financial services for all.
So there we go. And this is just the first of many listings that I think coming up, like I said, referencing Mine Crypto. I think this is the first of many listings for Stronghold coming up. And I think we see a lot more liquidity coming into Stronghold as a result. Yeah. So hand it over here to Max.
Well, thank you for your insights and your report on all that. A lot of key detailed information we have, especially when it comes to Kraken, obviously some things about Axelar as well. And I think that's very, very bullish. I'm going to get into some things that are going to pound home and also complement some of Ruth's research. So a big up to our brother in the space, Smoke, for these findings. First thing is going to be from him, as in Smoke. We're going to pull this up, and basically it's to establish some things that you might not even be aware of, or you just need to be reminded of. For one, we see here SHX, the handshake with obviously Ripple and Stellar, right? And a statement from Stronghold themselves. Quote, we are partnered with several DLTs, which makes ISO 222 essential for our operations. Stronghold will be able to prepare for Fed now. Well, if anything, it already is, right? So I'm going to blow this up. I want you guys to see how this all comes together. We're going to blow it up even further because we realize a lot of you guys watch from your cell phones. It's the participants of Stronghold Net and how they, again, benefit from a set of blockchain-enabled capabilities. You saw just in that particular video, Tammy Camp pointing out some things of the lack of capabilities, right, when it comes to specifically BTC and how 4 million, give or take, was lost. Some people feel as though, well, that's great, actually, right? Because that's like a permanent lockup. I get where you're coming from. But again, what we're enabling here. So we see here specifically some key things, and we see payment and merchant financing. Don't ever forget the whole thing of Stronghold with the virtual ledger and the whole idea that originally it was built off of Stellar, but you also have the key connectors to even some of the traditional rails with the automated clearinghouse. Okay. And don't ever forget about if you had to label Stronghold as being a Nacha coin, it basically is. And if you already know about Nacha, wow, right? You know, we've done some deep dives about that. So I just thought I would share this with you guys. Obviously, see ISO 222 literally being mentioned there. The other area I want to jump into is back to what Smoke was talking about here. You know, again, pounding home the whole idea of the standardization, pounding home the whole idea that, you know, we have a partner, as in Stronghold, with several DLTs, distributed ledger technologies, that makes ISO 222 essential for our operations and, again, the preparation for FedNow. So I didn't want you guys to just see Smoke quoting us. He was actually pulling up some of this information, as you see here, which is great. Another area I want to jump into, again, is the whole thing about Axelar. We see here Anchorage Digital, Axelar. We cover Anchorage Digital, obviously with ZEBEC. So very bullish to see some of the findings about this. We see Axelar, obviously, with the handshake with the XRPL. But bottom line is Anchorage Digital, BlackRock. Listen, I know a lot of you guys aren't into quant A lot of you guys may feel as though that there's not enough mentions about this whole topic of blockchain agnostic. So you heard Rue talk about this, but earlier today I did drop a video about Quant and specifically BlackRock, and we saw that it is a true collaboration. So to see a little bit more in regard to the findings, and this time Axelar, right? So this is really bullish. So what does it say here? We have Anchorage Digital, the handshake with BlackRock. In turn, BlackRock's connection to XRPL via Anchorage Digital. Some of you guys have pointed out, I just want to see the receipts. Well, here's some of those receipts, excuse me. And we see specifically Axelar vesting automation and staking rewards. This is something that you guys have requested, in the community. And basically, I will read a good amount of this. So it mentions here, in addition to secure custody, Axelar holders can stake through Anchorage Digital. I'll state it again, through Anchorage Digital, the only federally chartered bank in the United States to offer staking, collect rewards for securing the network. This is very bullish, and we do see here that technically speaking, this came from Sergey Gubinov over at Axelar. All right, is that all we have in regard to the findings? Well, the answer is no, but whatever the case be, it's a case study for the protocols, and you can see how this all comes together. All right, a little bit more about this. I want to pull up another key finding from our brother in space, Smoke. Let's jump back to this tab. We also see here that you have this whole thing of what? How the XRPL blockchain plugs into cross-chain DeFi, and more importantly, how Ripple specifically, in close collaborations with the XRP Ledger blockchain community, has spearheaded the development of an automated market maker protocol, enriching the XRPL ecosystem with robust, decentralized finance DeFi. And when you go further down into it, yes, you see in the red, I'll just zoom in a little bit, the whole thing of the integration with cross-chain messaging services like Axelar. I mean, you can clearly see how these ecosystems work, whether it's Stronghold with Stellar, Stronghold with Ripple, Stronghold with Axelar, Ripple with Axelar. These are great findings, to say the least, right? And very nice to see it literally interface with the actual receipts. The other area I want to jump into before we wrap this up is I want you guys to also see in the citation this other key area, which we'll jump down to right here. And I'll zoom out actually on that one just a tad. And I'll zoom in a little bit so it just looks a little more clear. So we also see here, bottom part from literally from Ripple, this dates back to June 2022. It mentions specifically this whole thing from David Schwartz. So while the AMM does not currently feature built-in compliance functionalities, Ripple envisions its utility for a broad spectrum of users, from retail traders to institutional players. Looking ahead, Ripple and the XRPL are exploring incorporation of on-chain regulatory compliance features to further bolster institutional adoption of the protocol. That in itself is nice to share because it pounds home where we're at with all these key findings, whether it's from Stronghold, Stellar, Ripple, etc., etc. So that is absolutely awesome. The last part, again, is another big up to Smoke on this one. Again, the institutional staking, it's on the way. Anchorage Digital is, again, the only federated or a federally chartered bank in the United States to offer those staking services, and Axelar holders can stake through Anchorage Digital and collect those rewards. Again, it's compliant, and you do see this. I believe we shared this earlier. So I just wanted to pound it home just a little bit more, but you can clearly see this. And if Rue, if anything, want to get some of your key insight about this, because I feel as though it's ecosystems working together, and isn't that the point?
It is. And this is also ties in ZEBEC, right? We saw Robert Mitchnick. We know Robert Mitchnick is head of digital assets at BlackRock. We saw him give a quote on Anchorage Digital. And we know Simon Babakani and Robert Michnik went to the same college, and they were there at the same time. They know each other. Simon Babakani is admitted to this. So they're also the institutional holders for ZEBEC as well. So we see all of those guys also partnered with with Ondo. So Ondo, Anchorage Digital, Axelar, Stellar, XRP, like it is a multi-chain future for all of those. They're like, oh well, they're picking Linea, so game over XRP. You're really missing the point, I feel like. But it's up to you. Do what you want there. But I think it's clear that there's a multi-chain future, and these chains, along with XLR is going to be very, very important for interoperability, and the future looks bright for us as holders.
The future does look bright. And speaking of Linea, just real quick, another disclaimer. I mentioned this before, but sometimes not everybody can watch all the videos, and I get that. Your go-to platform for a FUD buster, an excellent FUD buster in regard to the whole thing with Linea. Check out our brother Jesse over at Apex Crypto Insights with his FUD buster special, which was roughly about a week ago. Probably the best one I've seen yet on this whole thing of, Linea and Swift and all that. Your answers are literally in that video. So do us a solid if you listen to this entire outline and type in this key word into the comments, and that is Floodbuster. You'll know that you listen to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and the Brother Rue,
Bam.
know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. Check out our links in the descriptions for things like BTCC, and obviously also our Patreons and the discounts for things like cold storage with the DCENT Wallet. You can get a significant discount, as you see there. Get one $3 off, two $99 off. And if you don't have cold storage at this point, I really don't know what you're doing. I say that respectfully. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.